welcome to Michelle Davies, our concept artist, one of a couple, and let's get to know you a little more and share some stuff with the community.
Shiny.
Now you're excited.
Thrilled.
All right. I personally know you to be a driven and dedicated artist. How did you end up searching out a job and getting into concept art?
I went to school for animation, and then I kind of got burnt out at animation, so after college I became a freelancer, and I knew I wanted to be in games, and originally as an animator I thought I would animate trees, because someone's got to animate trees, waiting in the wind, someone gets paid, but no. It turned out I found out about concept art after college, so I taught myself concept art through online forums and art communities, and in the meantime I was coloring comics, doing graphic design, whoever would pay me. So I did a lot of contract work, but even though I did a ton of concept art and I did some stuff remotely for a few other studios, I wasn't getting any steady pay, so I ended up going overseas to try and get a job.
Tell us more about that, the overseas.
I went to Korea because I realized it felt like a lot of people were getting hired in the States based off Korean names. So I figured if I went to Korea, they would hire me because I'm a foreigner.
You're going to turn the tables.
And Korea has a lot of the MMO industry lives in Korea, or at least their what do you call it, mother studios like NCSoft and so forth. So I figured, I could get paid as a teacher over there and work on getting into the industry that way.
That's a lot of dedication to travel to a completely different country where you don't speak the language to learn something.
Nah, I wung it. I figured, whatever. I have internet, I'm fine.
Have internet.
They have StarCraft, I'll learn my ways through that.
All the stereotypes. You said a lot of your learning was through watching videos and YouTube things and stuff like that. How does it feel to be the one who's making the videos now, especially for people like me who are just like, oh, I'm really excited by what you just drew and learning things?
Okay, I still think there's still a lot to learn and whatnot, but if it makes people happy, it makes me happy.
Good. When you went to school and you learned animation, did you do traditional art as well? And how do you feel like that technique either helps or hurts you for digital art?
I was 2D focused in animation, so I had to do all like the painting, traditional arts, traditional drawing, keeping up a sketchbook, which I think is really important if you're doing 2D animation. Sadly, our college didn't have the greatest 3D program, so I got a little turned off, but 2D allowed me to do more painting, and I can apply that to Photoshop because it kind of is you need one to do well in the other.
How so? How do you think?
Photoshop doesn't paint stuff for you,
unfortunately.
So you still need to understand color theory, how stuff mixed together, composition, all that jazz. And when you're doing traditional, you have more limitations, so you're forced to figure out the problems, where in Photoshop, you kind of have the ultimate universe of anything you want to do.
I see. Can you define concept art for us?
Concept art.
The obvious literal drawing concept.
That's such a wide question. How to define concept art? Creating things creating whatever subject is needed that will best assist the game and look the coolest with the limitations given.
That's a good definition. So then you have those limitations and you're supporting the game. How do you balance the pretty and the functional together?
Pretty and the functional. For what our game needs to be, first and foremost is assisting the game. Like, you can still make stuff look good, but like for what we are in the RVR and all that, like you need to make quick calls on the battlefield. You can, of course, be like, I look beautiful off on the sidelines chilling with the guildmates, but what's most important is when you're in the heat of player versus player and you need to make quick calls, and the only way you're going to make quick calls is quick visuals, and you need the art to help you with that.
Let's see. You and Sandra often work on the same project. What are the reasons for that, and how do your styles work together?
I think it's interesting because I'm an MMO whore. I've been playing since the day we got 56K internet.
What will you do for an MMO, Michelle?
So many things. So I've been playing MMO since like before junior high, and so I tend to have these built-in limitations, like what I've seen done, what I think can be done, you know, what will be easiest based on the size of the team or biggest bang for our buck. Whereas what's cool about Sandra is she's in a whole different genre, so she'll think of stuff outside the box. And so a lot of times we'll both come up with very, very different ideas, but the combination of the two makes something even cooler, because I can take like, oh, I never thought about that because I'm still stuck in the box sometimes, and I can apply it to the design.
What are you working on right now?
I am, working on the Arthurian Giants, the Golem dudes.
Yes. You said it correctly. Max, be so proud of you.
Golem?
Yes.
Who missaid Golem?
We say Gollum. Lots of us.
Really?
Yes.
Isn't that like Lord of the Rings?
Yes. Okay, we've seen the first look of how the golems look. What is your task now that you've done, like that initial impression?
Now I'm taking those designs and laying them out in a way that will make them compatible for making a good model and so forth. So, and also like just readjusting a few things, and also thinking in the back of my head, like character creation wise, what things would be cool to be able to change, you know, whether it's the glow or the different kinds of carvings or the head shapes, and of course, like, you know, like rocky hairstyles and all that jazz.
So does that mean you then draw it from all angles? Because usually what the community sees and what I would see was just a frontal static view.
Oh, yeah. I draw them from like a billion angles. I'll break down like the arm or try to give options for joints and things like that.
What's your stance on armor and the look of a character and perhaps practicality of the armor? Because you're handling a lot of the look of things.
Well, I think a main focus is believable fantasy we're going for, so we can have like cool looking stuff, but you still don't want it to look crazy, absurd, Super Saiyan, you know, like
a giant sword that's bigger than my head
and stuff like that, you know, stuff that you feel like you could battle in.
My plus 15 stats bikini top?
What? You know, and making a flexible system that can apply to a flexible crafting system. So we have a lot of variety. You're not running into yourself. That's one of my pet peeves. I hate running into myself in MMOs. I get very, very sad very fast if I run into myself.
What inspires you when you're sitting down to create something? How do you draw? Like, what do you draw from to be inspired?
What do I draw from to be inspired?
Yeah, it's a golem. You've never seen one before. How do you draw that?
Oh, well, I mean, you look up mythos, and you know, there's always Google image search to get ideas, and it's kind of strange. I kind of just do it. I'm like, what do we need today? Okay, you know, giraffe dragon. Okay, I can do that.
So just creative imagining?
Trying to add some elements of like actual lore or stuff that reflates back to the story that was given based on the race and our lore. You know, like say golems, I look up different types of rocks, materials, pottery, all that, because I could also, you know, you look at pottery and there's different glazes, so that's like different kinds of cool things we could see in character customization and whatnot. You know, what kind of material they made out of, you know, what sound would they make when they move.
What other side things do you do for City Stage that are not, I guess, perhaps you'd consider traditional concept art?
Other things I do for, like in the art department, like logo design or...
All the things.
If it needs to be painted, I do it.
Well, you did our logo, which is really cool.
Yes, I did also the original City State logo as well. Like that's my first task when I came into the studio when overseas. I was even sketching stuff on the plane for that.
Well, thank you to Michelle, and we sing your art soon.
Okay.